Welcome. In this video I'm going to go over the procedure of changing out a battery on an iPhone 6s. And this is the battery I'm using, and I'll put a link in the description of this battery on Amazon. If you use that link, it helps me out a little bit and doesn't cost you anything extra. So this is my first time changing the battery in this phone, so hopefully I'll have a perspective of someone who hasn't done this 100 times, so hopefully I don't skip any steps, although I may speed up parts of the video just for brevity's sake. So this is the battery I got, and it has a little note here. It says, before starting, please discharge the battery to below 20%. So I've done that. I'm at, wow, it's at 11%. It was at 19. This thing is going fast. So this little card looks like it has links to other batteries they sell. And here's like a giveaway thing. It's adhesive. These are the adhesive strips to hold the battery in place. Okay, we have the battery. This is a 2580 milliamp hour battery for a 6S. It says not for the 6, 6 Plus, or 6S Plus. Then we have some bits down here, a little SIM removal tool, suction cup, and a little, it's like a guitar pick looking thing. Then we have a screwdriver handle, tweezers, and a metal spudger. So I also have this tool kit. If this one is not adequate, I can pull tools from this. This is an Apsun kit. I did a video on this a while back. So if you're not comfortable digging into electronics and you don't know how to be safe, this is probably not the best project. Lithium batteries can be pretty dangerous. Like if you were to bend it or puncture it, it could start a fire. I do have a fire extinguisher nearby in my shop. And also you need to make sure you recycle your old batteries. So take it to like an Interstate Batteries, or I think Home Depot may take them. I'm not real sure these days. I usually take mine to Interstate Batteries. So the first thing you need to do is shut down the phone. So just hold down the power button, slide it to power off. Okay, the next thing we need to do is remove these screws. Okay, those are both loose now. You don't want to lose those. Okay, so I got this apart, but then found out it wasn't recording, which I don't know what happened, but this was the part I'm sure everyone wanted to see. So I have the suction cup on here. I used this bigger mount one. You can find these, it's like a tripod suction cup mount. On a previous video, I used a suction cup for like a bathroom soap tray. You can find suction cups all over the place. So I'll clamp that down, and I pulled up on that, and a little gap formed here. Let's see if I can do this again. Okay, so there's the little gap. I stuck in my plastic tool like that, and I pulled it around the corner like so. Okay. I did that on both sides. Oops. Yeah. I'll take off the suction cup. And now I'm going to open this up to 90 degrees, and you want to prop it up against something. I recommend sliced carrots. You could use green beans, but carrots are probably better. So pull that up. Then if you have a rubber band, you can use it. I just am using this masking tape, and I'm lightly taping it. There we go. And there was like a thin rubber adhesive around this. So I pulled that off. Next, you want to remove these two screws, and they are different, so keep track of which one goes where. So here are the two screws. The longer one goes on the battery side. Next, I'll use the included tweezers to pull this plate out. It's indented here on the upper right hand corner. So next I want to pry up on this connector right here. Okay, there we go. Next we have 4 Phillips screws up here. The one in the upper right is different sized from the others. There we go, first one. So I have the screws off camera here, and I kept them in the same orientation I took them out. I'll remove this plate next. There we go. Next we need to pry up 3 connectors here. So I'll start with this one. Okay, that's up. Then that was covering the second one I need to remove. Okay. And the third one is over here on the right. There we go. Now we can remove the screen from the rest of the assembly, and I can remove more of this adhesive. There we go. There's a couple other little bits of adhesive around here that I'll clean off here in just a minute. So next I need to pull up these adhesive strips here. There's 2 of them. So I'm using my tweezers, but I'm careful not to poke them into the battery. That could start a fire. Now I'll grab this with my finger if I can, using my fingernail. Okay, I almost have it. Okay, so you want to pull this straight out slowly. You don't want to pull it up or down. I'll pull it slowly. I see a tiny little spot of adhesive there. Hopefully that's not enough to hold it down too far. And this is what I took off. I need to do the same thing with the other side. Okay, that's all off. This is what I had left on the other side. It wasn't too bad. This is very light now. So next I'll unwrap the battery. Here we go. It says the old one was 6.55 watt hours. And this one is 9.36 watt hours. Looks slightly thicker maybe, it's hard to say. I want to make sure you don't bend either one of these batteries, by the way. So we have the adhesive strips. You want to pull off this blue part. Be careful, this is very sticky, and if you screw up you have to buy some new adhesive. I'll take that off. The connector is pointing up, the adhesive strips are pointing to the left. I want to line this up in the middle, right on that edge, of between the white and the black. Like so. Okay. Now I'll pull this blue part off, and I'll bend it up and over, like so. So now we have those little black tabs like we pulled out when we removed it. Okay, next, I want to pull this off. You want to pull it this way and slowly, so I'll kind of fold it back on itself, like so. There we go. And this is a one-shot deal. So I'll stick this in, make sure my connector is going to line up. I'll drop it in place. There we go. I don't want to connect that quite yet. I'll rub it down. Looks good. So now I'm going to remove these little bits of adhesive I left on here. And this is the adhesive we'll replace. Okay, I think I got it all off. I used the little ball of the adhesive to help me pull up the other little bits. That was kind of a pain. Okay, so this is the orientation the plastic goes on there. You can see there's a little divot right there that lines up there. Same thing down below. It matches up. So I'll peel this off. There's 2 layers, like so. And I've read instructions that say you don't even need to use this adhesive, but it probably helps a little bit with waterproofness. I mean, it's not a waterproof phone, but I'll use my spudger to make sure it's pressed down. Okay, now I'll peel the outer layer off. I'm going to be careful with this because you don't want to pull that adhesive off. Like right here. Ooh, that was close. Okay, so now I'll connect the connectors back up. You want to make sure these are lined up and you just press them in place. Okay, I have those three connected. I'll put the metal plate back on. Okay, we can now reconnect the battery. I'll do that here. I'll press down on the connector. I'll put the cover back on. Okay, so now I'm going to carefully turn this on before I seal it shut. Okay, it looks like we have power. Okay, so it says we have battery health as maximum capacity. I will shut this down now and finish it off. If there was ever a time not to jerk this, it would be when you're running it. And you could certainly just close this up and test it. I prefer to do it this way. Okay, it's off. There's little tabs here. You can barely see them. I'm going to stick those under here on the top of the phone, and I'll squeeze it together like this. And then I'll work my way from the top to the bottom, pressing it into place. Now I can replace the two screws on the bottom. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is charge your phone to 100% and leave it there for a couple hours. And then you want to use it until it shuts down due to a low battery, and then charge it up to 100% again, and that should calibrate your battery. So this was a little bit tricky. It was tricky getting this apart. I think it helped putting the suction cup in the middle. I was kind of trying to pry it over on this side, but get it right in the middle. I liked using the bigger suction cup that I had. Pulling that adhesive out, patience is rewarded there. You want to do it slowly so it doesn't tear. If it tears, you would have to use tweezers to pull it out. And if you lose that little nub, you might have to use like a credit card or something, or a piece of thin plastic to go under the phone and try and pull that out. So you want to try and avoid that if all possible. So I'll put a picture up on the screen now of Coconut battery. It's a battery monitoring tool with the old battery and the new one, so you can see the difference there. Okay, so that's all for this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. If you like this video, please click like. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd appreciate it if you could do that. And thanks for watching. Until next time, goodbye.